Good afternoon, one and all. I, Sara Criado, the Assistant Head of the Communications Department, would like to welcome you all to this webinar on behalf of the ESL. A warm welcome to our faculty members, Professor Lubina, Professor Anuja, Professor Anupama, and our principal, Dr. Vijita Shetty. I would like to welcome our speaker for today, Mr. Pratyush Kamal. Thank you for joining us. This webinar is organized by the ESL for the students to know more about entrepreneurship. I know many of you might have many questions about entrepreneurship and what it is all about. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. Professor Lubina, I request you to please take over.
Thank you, Sarah. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Lubina Gonsalves, coordinator of ESL of Vivek College, would like to introduce our prestigious speaker, Mr. Pratyush Kamal. He recently graduated from IIT Bombay. His first startup was Podhani Education, which was a social education startup. It was initiated to provide free quality education to those who could not afford basic education. His second startup is Instibuddy. He is the co-founder and CEO of this startup. Instibuddy is a joint initiative taken by the IIT Bombay students, professors, and alumni. It's an honor to have such a dynamic entrepreneur for today's session. So I now request Mr. Pratyush to start with his session. Over to you, Pratyush.
Sure, and thanks a lot, guys, for inviting me. And first of all, I'm really sorry for joining late. So there was some issue with my own app in my laptop. So, I'm audible, right?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, sure. So I'll be starting the session with telling about what is entrepreneurship, like giving the brief about the entrepreneurship, then letting you know about the real life example of myself, like how has my journey with entrepreneurship been, and lastly, I'll be taking few of the questions of you guys. So talking about the brief about the entrepreneurship, so I've divided the entire section in three parts. First is the what is entrepreneurship and why should you be an entrepreneur? Second, and third would be that when should you think to be an entrepreneur? So coming to the first question, that what is entrepreneurship? So trust me, this is not a question which could be Googled and explained easily. In my opinion, like every person has its own definition of entrepreneurship. In my opinion, entrepreneurship is anything literally which solves a problem, or which gives a solution to a problem, irrespective of the dynamicity of the problem, irrespective of the range of the problem, irrespective of the reason, irrespective of the section of the people. For example, if you are providing a solution to a problem which exists in the society but are faced only by 5 or 10 people, you would be an entrepreneur because you are solving a problem. You are giving a solution to a problem which is existing in the society. Now, the question comes that why should you be an entrepreneur? Because it's a human psychology and it's a human nature. Then everything which we do, like every action of human, needs to have a motivation, needs to have an ambition, needs to have a driving force in order to do that action, in order to execute that action. So for entrepreneurship also, there lies in motivation. Why should you be an entrepreneur? So for that, I'll be explaining you this entire part with an example, with a story. And the story is about, for example, there are two persons. The first name is Rahul and second name is Modi. Don't get confused between the real life Rahul and real life Modi. I'm just taking an example of these two people who are living in the villages of Rajasthan. And the village, like as Rajasthan is a desert area, like those two villages have a shortage of water. for example, those two villages have shortage of water. Now, what the people of these villages think of that, let's give a contract to some contractors in order to solve this water scarcity issue of this village. So what did they do? They released a contract, and these two people filled the contract, and they too got the contract for filling the needs of the people, for filling the needs of the villagers. So the approach which Rahul was a very hard work. Okay, so with the approach which he followed was that he got the opportunity to serve the people. He won the contract along with Modi. So what he used to do was, he used to go to a nearby place around 30-40 kilometers away from his own village. He used to fill the water in tank. He used to go that every morning and return around 10-11. Then he used to serve the people of the villages. So the villagers used to get the water for a day, one time a day, and the villagers used to store the water for the entire day or the rest of the day. So this was the working style of Rahul. Now, Rahul was happy because there were two issues. He was serving the people, he was making money out of it. Second, unfortunately or fortunately, Modi was not there in the village till 1 year. So Rahul was happy because he has a complete monopoly on that entire business. He was very happy that I am the only one who is able to do this business and who is executing this business. So my monopoly would be far better than anyone else. I would be the only person who would be giving the solution to this village, because the other person who won the contract was not there, who went to somewhere else. Now the thing was, where did Modi go? So the answer to this question is, he went to a city, he built a proper business model canvas, BFC. He did a pilot run. What his mindset was, I don't need to solve a problem of this one village. I want to make a standardized business model so that I could execute this plan into nearby places, into nearby cities, into nearby towns, into nearby districts, into nearby states. So this was the thinking of Modi. So he was like executing the problem. He was executing this solution, and he was thinking of the solution which could impact a large section of people, which could have a like vast impact in the society. So that was the thinking, or that was the mindset of Modi. Now the thing was, he built a business model canvas. He did a prototype run. The idea which he had was, he needed to build a pipeline for the 30 kilometer which Rahul used to go to that place and used to fetch water from the 30 kilometer. So what he used to think is that I need to build a pipeline, a water pipeline from that from that entire two villages, to connect those two villages, where the village one where the water was present, where village two, that is own village, where the water was not present. The pipeline was of 30 kilometer. Now he needed money, so he built a business model. He built a proper investment policy. Now he went out for investors. So he got some investors who was ready to invest in the model, because, as you know, water is scarce. Water is the essential element. Water is a commodity, right, for each and every person who is living on this earth. So he went to some of the investors. He got funded by some of the investors. He came after 1 year and said to the villagers that, look, I have got a solution. My solution is much better than what Rahul provided. I'll be providing 24/7 water, 24/7 water to your village at your doorstep, and that too at a lower cost. Everyone was shocked, including Rahul. How is it possible that someone could provide us water 24/7 in the desert area of Rajasthan, and that too in lower cost than what Rahul was providing? But somehow he managed to convince those people that I'll be providing, just have a trust on me. So fortunately for the villages, he started giving his solution, or he started making his pipeline. He completed his pipeline, and villagers were very happy because the water was coming to their doorstep 24/7, and that too at lower rate of what Rahul was charging to them. So what do you think, guys? Like, who will villagers choose when the idea of renewal of contract would be coming to them? Like, will they choose Rahul or will they choose Modi? Like, I want to answer from you guys. Like, what do you think? If you were in that village, who will you have chosen that time? Just type in the chat box. Or you could speak also. It's your will. Okay, so the question is that Modi was providing water 24/7 at lower rate of what Rahul was providing. Rahul was providing water for one time and was charging more than Modi. So if you were in that village, whom did you have chosen? If you have at that place, like for the renewal of contract, you have chosen to get services from Modi or from Rahul. So that was the question, Adarsh. Okay, so people are saying that Modi. Now the question comes: is Rahul is more hardworking? Is lot more hardworking? He used to go early morning. He used to fetch water. He used to come to the village. He was lot amount of work, but still, people are choosing Modi. And like, can anyone guess the reason for the same? Can anyone guess the basic reason for the same? For that, you need to unmute your mic and speak. Can anyone guess the reason for the same? Why do you think that people will choose Modi like in place of Rahul? People who have answered Modi, you must have some thought process behind it, right? Mediha Sheikh, Vedant, Madhu, Adarsh, Abhishek, speak. Why have you chosen Modi? Why do you think that people will choose Modi? You must have answer for that. Better services at lower rate, right? Better services at lower rate. So exactly, entrepreneurship is all about this. There is a difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. Businessman could or could not be an entrepreneur, but entrepreneur will definitely be a businessman, because the entrepreneurship is not about a tag. Entrepreneurship is not about a process. Entrepreneurship is a mindset of people. Okay. When I'm saying that it's a mindset of people, what I want to say is, if there is a problem which is existing in a society, either discovered or non-discovered, and if you are aware of that, and if you are thinking to tackle that problem with your own solution, if you are even thinking to solve that problem, then you are an entrepreneur. It's as simple as that. If you are looking after a problem and you are thinking a solution, or you are thinking to provide a solution even to that problem, you are an entrepreneur. There would be people who will be there in 5-star hotel, like having a cup of tea and saying that India is a very poor country. But in place of those person, if you were there and if you would be thinking that India is a poor country and I need to remove this poverty from India, then you would be an entrepreneur, and he might be a businessman if he would be rich. So that is the difference between entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is not someone who just want to make money. Entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs are people who want to provide a solution which is realistic, which is holistic, which is scalable, and which is affordable. So this is what entrepreneurship is all about. Now, talking about why should you be an entrepreneur? That the question was that why should you be an entrepreneur? Again, the story I've given a story that why should you be an entrepreneur. Now, I'll talk about a bit about human psychology. So, what human psychology says is that any person in this entire universe could be divided into four types. First, like there are two types, left and right. Okay, in left section of the people, there comes E and S. So what E is? E is all about employees. E is all about employees. And S is all about self-employed people. Self-employed, for example, doctor, engineer, a doctor, lawyers, who is working uh, for his own well living. So those people are self-employed. Employees are people who are working on salaries. Those are employees. Now comes businessman and investors. Those are right side of people. Right side, left side and right side. So in right side of the section, there comes a businessman and investor. So those people make to work others for them. Businessman, the mindset of businessman is that they want others, they hire people who are smarter than them. They onboard people in their firm who are smarter than them, and they make them work. So basically, what left side says is, or what the left side people think is, the more I will work, the more I will earn. The mindset of the left side people is, the more I will work, the more I will earn. The employees are having the same mindset, right? मैं जितना काम करूंगा मुझे उतना पैसा मिलेगा. This is what usually people think. And the right side people think is, मैं जितना काम करूंगा मुझे उतना पैसा मिलेगा. So the profit which is being made by right side people depends on the amount of work his or her employee is doing, and the amount of profit which is made by left side people is dependent on, directly proportional to, the amount of work he or she himself or herself is doing. That is the difference between an entrepreneur, particularly on the right side of people and left side of the people. Now, why do you think that everyone wants to be rich, right? सबको पैसा चाहिए. Like everyone wants to be rich. सब लोग चाहते हैं. कोई ये चाहता है क्या कि मैं गरीब रहूं? Is there anyone in this entire seminar who wants to be poor? No. Okay. But फिर भी सब अमीर नहीं हो पाते हैं. नहीं हो पाते हैं अमीर, right? Do you know the reason for that? क्यों अमीर नहीं हो पाते? I'll tell you the reason for that. Reason for that is the mindset. लोग अमीर इसलिए नहीं हो पाते हैं because they don't want to take a risk. The higher the risk would be, the higher would be the return. But they want a job security. They want a job security. Trust me, in this 21st century, there is nothing called as job security. If you won't work in a corporate firm, they would kick you off. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you won't work in a corporate firm, you would kicked off. People used to go for a government sector job. क्यों? वहां पर काम नहीं करना पड़ता है, बैठ के पैसे मिलते हैं. So they think that government job is the safest one, right? Unfortunately, the amount of hardship which they are doing in order to earn that government job is exclusively very high in compared to what they have wasted or what they have achieved if they have not taken that choice. Now, what I am saying is that the right side people and the left side people, the difference in the mindset is that I don't want to take risk and I want to take risk. What rich people think, what the entrepreneur think is not that I want to be rich. They think about financial stability and they want a financial security. And everyone should, even me, should think of financial stability. But unfortunately, many of us think of job stability or job security. We don't think about financial security. We think that if I'll be getting a government job, if I'll be getting a corporate job, लाइफ सेटल है, ठीक है, कॉर्पोरेट जॉब मिलेगा, पैसे आएंगे, कोई इशू नहीं है. बट वेरी फ्यू पीपल थिंक दैट अभी अगर हम 10 साल खुद का कुछ इफ वी कुड स्टार्ट, अगर हम खुद का कुछ स्टार्ट करते हैं तो हमारे 50-60 साल आगे का अच्छे हो सकते हैं. बहुत कम लोग हैं जो ऐसा सोचते हैं कि 50-60 साल हम अच्छे करने के लिए अभी 10 साल मेहनत करें. मैक्सिमम लोग यही सोचते हैं कि इश्यूज नहीं लेना है, हमें ज्यादा मेहनत नहीं करना है, बाद में सैलरी आ रही है उतने में काम हो जाएगा. सो और यही जो थॉट प्रोसेस है, दैट थॉट प्रोसेस ऑल अबाउट जॉब सिक्योरिटी, जॉब स्टेबिलिटी. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है, लिटरली कुछ ऐसा नहीं होता है जॉब सिक्योरिटी, जॉब स्टेबिलिटी. एक ही चीज होती है, फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी ओनली कम्स व्हेन यू टेक रिस्क. यू नो दैट. ऐसा क्यों है? अगर हमें सब पता ही है, ये जितनी भी चीजें हैं ये हमें पहले भी बताई जा चुकी होंगी, मेरे को भी, आपको भी, सबको पहले भी बताई जा चुकी होंगी. द मोर यू टेक रिस्क, द मोर यू बी गेटिंग इन रिटर्न. लेकिन फिर भी हम रिस्क नहीं लेते हैं. यू नो द रीजन फॉर दैट? The reason for that is we are taught in schools not to take risks. We are taught in a school not to take, not to do mistakes. Actually, we are taught not to do mistakes. हमें गलतियां करने पे डंडे पड़ते थे. So that is what we used to have in our school days, right? So यहाँ पर भी ऐसा ही है. People don't want to take risks because they want to avoid mistakes. Trust me, अगर एडिसन ने 114 बार फेल नहीं हुआ, 113 बार वो फेल नहीं होता तो वो बल्ब नहीं बनता. उसे भी लोगों ने क्रिटिसाइज करा, पीपल यूज्ड टू क्रिटिसाइज कि 114 बार 112 बार फेल हो गया, ठीक है. एंड द रिप्लाई व्हिच ही गिव वाज दैट आई डिड नॉट फेल्ड 114 टाइम, 114 टाइम, 113 टाइम. आई लर्नड व्हाट मिस्टेक्स शुड आई नॉट मेक if I ever get a chance 115th time. That is the difference in the mindset of the two section of people. That is the mindset, that people don't want to make mistakes. If you won't try, you would not get success. It's as simple as that. If you won't try, you won't make mistakes. Try नहीं करोगे, mistake ही नहीं होगा. But again, mistake नहीं होगा so तुम कुछ सीखोगे नहीं. तुम जो करते आए हो वही करते रहोगे. एंड देयर इज अ टाइम लैग, यू नो, लाइक 20-30 साल की उम्र में आपको सिखाया जा सकता है, 50-60 साल की उम्र में आप वो, अगर आप 30 साल से टेक्नोलॉजिकली आउटडेटेड नहीं हो, no one would be able to teach you those technology which you have not studied or which you have not incubated in yourself for about 25, 30 or 50 years. Okay, so the difference, why entrepreneurship, what is entrepreneurship? I've explained everything about that. Now, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship, when should you be an entrepreneur? Trust me, whenever you get a solution to a problem which exists in a society, when you start executing that solution, you are an entrepreneur. You are an entrepreneur. Now there comes two different type of entrepreneur. First, look, there is a graph. You guys understand graph, like you must have studied maths in your 10th or something like that. Reply with yes or no if you have studied maths. You would have studied about graphs, maths, in maths. Like, have you guys studied graph, or you are aware of the graphs? A normal graph, y is equal to x, y is equal to x square. Yeah, it's very simple. So I'm talking about those graphs only. So look, the thing is, the amount of risk, I'm plotting graph of risk versus your stages in life. Okay, that is my own graph which I have thought. So risk versus your stages in life. When you are a student, you are to a certain level. Let assume it as a. When you are a working professional, you reach to a maximum of risk versus stage of life. It means that when you are a working professional, you afford to take maximum amount of risk. And trust me, when you afford to take maximum amount of risk, you would afford, or you would make maximum amount of profits. Now, the minima comes when you are married. When you get married, the minima of return, the minima of risk versus the stage of life comes. That is the position, or that is the okay. So that is the time. That is the your living phase or life phase when you don't want to take any risk, because you think that what if I take risk and my effort goes in vain and I get unsuccessful. I get a failure in this entire procedure or in this entire process. What if the person whom I have married leave me? If I take risk and if I get unsuccessful, if I get continuous failures, and that is that the difference in mindset, the thought process would lead to decline in the risk taking ability in yours. And the moment it would decline the risk taking ability, it will lead to decline in the profits in the returns too. Then comes your old age. In old days, you have already like completed 20, 30 or 30 years of your marriage. So you are not that much attracted to that person that if he or she would leave me, it won't be, it won't be, it would matter to me, but it won't be as effective as I was in young age and I just got married. So that position would be a bit higher, but the maxima would be when you are not married, you have got employed, and minima is when you are employed or you are not employed, doesn't matter to you, but you got married. It's my own psychological understanding about risk and stages of life. So trust me, like this is about entrepreneurship, talking about my journey with entrepreneurship. So my journey majorly started when like in my college, I was a part of Entrepreneurship-Cell, IIT Bombay. I was a part of Financial IT Bombay. I was a part of Texas IT. So I met different people from different backgrounds, from different investors, different entrepreneurs, different businessmen. So in my fourth year, I thought I got a call. Like we used to have plans. We used to discuss things that like what could be a problem to this solution. We tried multiple things, and we ultimately used to find that this is not the something which could be scalable or which could be utilized on a larger scale. But then comes my fourth year when I received a call from one of my friend, and he is currently the other co-founder. So he called me and said that why do you think that we are doing engineering in spite of that we are not getting out from IIT as an engineer? And I said that because we don't want to be an engineer. Because we don't want to be an engineer. We don't. We are not interested in engineering. That's as simple as that. He said that if we are not interested in engineering, then why we are doing it? Then I said that because we haven't chosen this engineering, engineering has chosen us. It's very simple. That the rank which we have got in JEE, those rank have chosen us to be in that entire department or in that entire college. So that is the reason we are there. So,
नहीं वीडियो नहीं है मैं बताती हूँ बोला
so
क्या हुआ ना पता है किसी
Sneha
ने
Tiwari, could you please mute your mic? Yeah. So what I said was that like it's a problem which is existing in society. What if we gave a solution to this problem, connecting two different sort of people? First would be a mentor, second would be a mentee. For example, if I am a student of IIT Bombay, and for example, Sneha was there. So Sneha is in class 12th. He has just cleared IIT JEE Advanced, and he got a rank, or she got a rank of 900. So out of 10 lakh, 15 lakh people. So now she would be given a choice to choose. IIT Delhi Chemical, IIT Bombay Mechanical, IIT Kharagpur, something. I don't know anything about IITs. I don't know anything about engineering. I don't know anything about chemical, because we are not taught about engineering. We are not taught about colleges in our 11th, 12th. We are taught about physics, chemistry, and maths. It's very simple. So could I get a guide in order to solve my problem? Could anyone solve this problem? Could anyone help me in order to solve this problem? Could anyone like help me in order to tackle this problem and say that which one is suitable, so that I could choose that which one is suitable for me? For example, I could be good in mechanics, physics, but still I opt for chemistry or chemical branch, or I opt for metallurgy branch. And the reason could be anything materialistic. For example, the package, the the college. So if there would be someone who could guide me that your interest domain lies with something, such department, such college, then I would make a better choice. I would the choice, the lack of interest would be less in compared to what I have done if I have chosen that entire option by my own. So that is the problem which we tackled. We solved through, we built a website, we connected. That was sort of Tinder like platform, where Ola like platform, Zomato like platform, where we connected two different sort of people. I am a college student who is currently studying in IITs. There would be people who have cracked IITs who are yet to go into IIT. So we would be connecting platform, we would be connecting those two different sets of people. So that is how my entrepreneurship journey has been. That's it, guys, from my side. Now I would like to take the questions of yours, if there would be any. Is there any question of yours? And by the way, put the links of the social media pages and everything, my startup as well as my personal social media handle, Facebook and Instagram. So in case of any queries, you could directly reach out to me. There isn't any issue with that. I'll be putting it again. Is there any question from your side? Or should we end?
Guys, if you have any question, any queries you can ask, feel free to ask, or you can write in the chat box as well.
I'm in my first year. So what preparation should I do? Okay. So which type of profession, like what are you interested in? What are you interested in? Don't follow what people are getting into. For example, if you would be having around 50-60 friends and 90% of them would be interested in subject X, you try not to go to the subject X just because your 95% friend have chosen that option, that X, but try to choose that option because you have your interest lying in that subject X. That would be my suggestion to you. If you would be more specific, I would be able to elaborate more. Can we become entrepreneur without finance? Obviously, entrepreneur currently in India and anywhere around the world don't needs to have a financial issue. They need not have a financial issue. There is no need, like there is a need, but your financial stability or instability would never gonna be a reason for your failure if you are an entrepreneur. There are millions of people who are a lot more financially stable, who are investors, who are there lying with money in their bed and who want to invest, but you need to show that dedication to them. That's it. I want to be successful, earn money as well as I want to be happy. That depends. Like, in which thing do you get happy? Personally, I get happy when I when I get money. That is my own opinion. That's my own personal views. There would be people who would be feeling happy when their life would be stable. Again, their would life be stable, and they would be living with their families, parents. They would be feeling much more happier. So again, those four quadrants are not told by me in order to like demean or like over examine someone. It was just in order to show there are different four types of people which exist in the society. You could choose to be part of any of them. It's your will. But trust me, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an investor, if you're a businessman, your life gonna be unstable. That's sure. That's too sure that your life is gonna be unstable. That's not be stable for few years, for few early years, for about 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah, more questions. From where we can get finance to build business? There are, I said that there are lot amount of people who are having like money lying in their bed, and they want to give that money to someone else. Because again, investors, what investors do is they make money from their own money. They give money, they make money from their own money. That's simple. It's as simple as that. So they don't want to keep their money in banks. The mentality of keeping in bank is with middle class people who don't want to take a risk, who don't want to uh, like get the life unstable, but still want to get richer. So it's quite unfavorable, and it's not possible that without taking a risk in your life you would be getting, or you are gonna be rich. It is only when your luck favors you. So like, I don't know, like I'm not a person who waits for luck to come in order to execute the things. I'm someone who thinks that luck only comes when you fetches all the opportunity which comes in your own way. It's as simple as that. For example, if there are 500 opportunity which comes in your lifetime, 500 good opportunities, how are you gonna identify that which opportunity is best for me? So if you are, trust me, if you are lucky or you are unlucky, it doesn't matter. You would be getting your dreams too. You would be having your dreams too. You would be getting rich if you would be dedicated enough to get to that field, or get to that dream, or to fetch that dream. Why I'm saying is, I said that for example, there are 500 opportunity which comes in your way, and you fetches all of them, all the 500 opportunities. Is there a possibility that you are going to miss any opportunity? No. And if you are not going to miss any opportunity, then you would certainly, then the factor of luck would certainly be tending to zero, would be probably zero in your case, because you have faced all the probability which the luck can encounter. Now there could be a person who did not fetches, who fetches only one opportunity in his 500 opportunity which came in his lifetime. So for his case, the luck would be countered, the luck would be considered, because that one could be his the best opportunity, or that one could be his average or his poor opportunity, which usually come in day-to-day life. I think that's it, guys. I'd have to leave, as I'll be having some meeting around 4. So the session was really exciting for me also, and thanks a lot for having me here, guys, organizers, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Sir, so I hope there are no more questions. So I would request Sushila to please tell. Just 2 more minutes, sir.
Now the sessions come to an end. So I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of the webinar for the presence and contribute to make this webinar a great success. And to our honorable speaker, Mr. Pratyush Kamal, to take the time from his busy schedules to grace the event. I would also thank the principal Bijata Sethi supporting us, and I would like also the thanks to Anupama Bali ma'am, Anuja ma'am, and Lubina ma'am for supporting us. And thank you all the ECL members who taken effort to making the webinar successful. And mostly thank you for the student attending the webinar. So thank you to all. Now I will request Majabin to please take over. Majabin.
Shida,
And I put the link of all the social media handles in the chat box itself.
so I would
You
request
could
all the
go and visit to
participants,
those places.
to please turn on the camera and do follow all the social media handles provided by Pratyush sir. And do fill the feedback form as well in the chat box. 2
Thanks a
minutes
lot,
to
guys.
fill the feedback form. So wait for some time. Pratyush sir.
We want entrepreneurship.
Okay, sure.
We need to click a photograph, virtual photograph. So I would request all the members also to turn on their cameras. I would request again all the participants to turn on their camera. Smile all of you on. We'll click one more.
Yes, done.
Yes, you can turn. I will request all the participants to please fill the feedback form in the chat box and do follow all the social media channels provided by Sir. So, with the permission of our dignitaries, I would request to end the session. Lubina ma'am.
Yes, you can end the session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
So, yes, you can.
Hello, may I request our members to wait in here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is Anuja here, my dear students. It was a very good session, and thank you all participants to register and give your presence here to in this program and making it a success. Lubina ma'am, are you there?
No, I think she left.
Okay, no problem. My dear students, very nice, very good. Keep it up, and we'll have a small meeting. I have already spoken to Mezzabine about it tonight or by tomorrow. Okay. But right now, I request everybody, all those who are in SY, concentrate on your exams. Okay, best of luck. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye,
Bye.
ma'am. Thank you,
Bye,
ma'am.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye,
all.
ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.